Welcome to Mid-State Money Talk. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kevin and Joe Deitrich. They are partners at First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. And to our viewers at home, we have compiled some top questions today from you, questions that you want to have answered when it comes to planning your retirement. So today's show is just for you, really understanding what you're thinking and what you want to know. This show is definitely dedicated for those who are looking for the right path and the right choice for their retirement needs. Joe, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
Thank you
Glad
for
to be here.
asking. So glad to be here as well. Kevin, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good to see you.
So good to see you, because you gentlemen have been so incredibly busy. Obviously, the television show that you have, you're also doing the workshops, the radio. There's a lot going on. And it's so amazing that you always take time to come in and to do the show. So thank you so very much for doing that.
Yeah, we look forward to this. We love this time.
Yay!
Right.
And we've compiled a list of questions that the viewers want answers to. So gentlemen, are you ready?
Sure.
Right.
All right. So the number one question, and I know that you hear this the most often, probably in all of your workshops, will I have enough money to retire? Will I run out of money?
Yeah,
Joe.
absolutely. The number one concern, longevity risk. Am I going to be okay? Am I going to run out of money, right? What's my number? What do I need to have saved? Well, first of all, hope isn't a strategy. So let's, know for sure, right?
Yes.
And the only way to do that, confidence comes from having a customized retirement plan, a full plan set out. That's where the confidence is going to answer that question. Do I have enough? Am I on track? Am I going to run out? If you're going to run out of money, wouldn't you like to know now when you have time to make some adjustments? So having that complete retirement plan is their first step. And actually, your first step is really calling the number on the screen or the QR code that's on your screen. If you got a smartphone, call the number, 888-959-2743. That's your first step. Reaching out to us or somebody like us that can sit down and create this plan and give you that confidence. Are you on track, right?
And I think we should definitely clarify that having a retirement plan is not just that statement or statements that you get in the mail. Talk about the difference, Joe, because people might be like, well, I have a plan. I get the statement in the mail once a month.
Yeah, that's right. It's right. And sometimes those plan statements will have a percentage of how close you are to your goal. Well, who set that goal? Is that a goal that you sat down and created a plan, a complete plan? We're talking about income planning, budgeting, long-term care, insurance, spousal planning, legacy planning. That is a plan, right?
Okay.
What is my income needs for the rest of my life? What are tax brackets are going to be in for the rest of my life?
Yes.
So unless that's the plan that we're talking about, then a stack of papers, a stack of statements isn't going to cut it.
A pile of stuff.
A pile of stuff is all that is. That's right. That's right. Yep.
So, Kevin, I'm going to put you in the hot seat for the next one. This is
Sure.
question number 2. What if Social Security isn't enough or it gets reduced? It's a big question on people's mind today.
It sure is. It's definitely a concern, and it is a question. It's unlikely to disappear from what I've been reading and understanding our government, but it could see reduced benefits. They recommend. I guess they're saying that around 2035 it will be, run out of money. The Social Security fund will run out of money. So what's going to happen there? We don't know. There's some unknowns there, but it may be reduced there. But that's why it's important to plan with conservative estimates.
Okay.
Have a plan together and optimize your benefits, not just for you individually, but also for you and your spouse if you're married. So optimizing, getting the most benefit going forward is so important. You can also build other income streams to replace that Social Security check if it's reduced or if it's just taken away, which we don't know. And you can take those from your 401ks, from IRAs. And a lot of times you can generate those through annuities or other funds to generate that income that might help reduce, if it is reduced or gone away.
And I love the fact, Kevin, that you're so passionate, and Joe, about making sure that people are optimizing their Social Security. So, because a lot of people are like, it's going away, I'm going to take it, I'm going to start like as soon as I can, age 62, boom, it's turning on. But that's not always the right answer. And you like to really spend time to get to know a specific person's situation, correct?
Yeah, I mean, proper planning is that we sit down with them, we get to know what their dreams are, their goals are. That is fun to us. Get to know them as individuals, see what makes them click,
Yes.
see what makes them get up in the morning, and see what they want. and put a proper plan in place, which includes income, expenses, health care, long-term care, life insurance, legacy, leaving the money to your beneficiaries. All of that, if we do proper planning, then this we already take in consideration. If Social Security is reduced, we're already planning for it. We are planning for it already. If it's going to be reduced, how can we supplement that?
Make sure you have a plan in place. Thank you so much, Kevin. This next one, Joe, I'm concerned about boredom and loss of purpose.
Yeah.
Ooh, big one.
I love this
Emotional.
question. Yeah, because we're beyond the money and we're in real life. What happens when I actually retire? Have you thought about this? How much have you thought about this, right? Because it's a major change. It's an emotional change, really. We have the euphoria of retirement, but how long does that last until it's like, is this all there is, right? And if you haven't thought about it till that point, that can be jarring. So I like to think of 3 T's, right? Thrive. What is your well-being, your health? What habits should you be putting into place? Keeping a schedule, that sort of thing. That's going to allow you to thrive in retirement, right? Because you're going to lose a lot of structure when you retire.
That is true.
Second T is tribe. Where's your tribe? Where's your community? Do you attend a church? Do you volunteer at the local food bank? We're going to lose a lot of community when we stop working. We see people 40 hours, maybe more a week, and now all of a sudden that goes away. We should be rekindling old relationships, these type of things, right? So that's another part of it. And the last T is talent, right? What is unique to you? What have you learned? What experiences, wisdom that you have? Because one of the human needs we have is to give back, to contribute, to feel like we have purpose. So where can I replace that purpose that I might have had in my employment years somewhere else? Where can I give back?
Most definitely.
Yeah,
and I think that's so important. I love that you have that in the 3 T's, thrive, tribe, and talent, because like you mentioned, obviously you're spending your working years, you develop a work family. All of a sudden you disconnect from that family. And I know that you have a lot of people that come in that have loneliness.
Yep.
And this gives them the solution.
Absolutely. You think about these 3 things and plan for it. And you know what? You're going to find yourself being excited at the thought of what's coming next.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Joe, thank you so much. Kevin, thank you so much.
You.
Viewers at home, there is a phone number to call on your screen. That number is 888-959-2743, 888-959-2743. You're calling in today to book a complimentary consultation with Joe and Kevin. If you're thinking about retiring, but you're not sure where to start, this is the perfect first step, 888-959-2743. Now, to make it even simpler, there's a website that you can visit. It's actually called firstchoicequiz.com, firstchoicequiz.com, or click the QR code on the screen. Basically, by visiting this website, you'll be able to answer some questions, and you can get a true picture of where you currently stand for retirement. You've worked your entire life to get to the retirement years, and you deserve to have the retirement of your dreams. You deserve to have peace of mind. All you have to do is take action today. Call in to 888-959-2743 or click the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Take the firstchoicequiz.com. You'll be so happy that you did. When we come back on Mid-State Money Talk, we're going to talk about some more viewer questions that talk about retirement. Stay tuned.
First Choice Financial Services. We're based out of Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. So if you're familiar with Harrisburg, there's a river that splits the mid-state in half. And on the right side is the Harrisburg City, and on the left side is what we call the West Shore. We're based in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, which is just across the river from Harrisburg.
Everybody that works in our firm just has a heart for other people. My 2 sons are partners in the corporation. Their wives are very active in the corporation. The rest of the people in the corporation are, all but 2, are family.
I wouldn't want a practice that's not family-based or faith-based. If you're a believer, you're a Christian, then you have to live that. It's your life. It's who you are. It's your identity. My identity is in Christ and Christ alone, and I'm not going to waver from that. And why not have that spill over into my business, my practice? It's all over our walls, all over our TV screens, and they can see our heart, and they know, hey, we take care of them, and we We love them as individuals, and we care for them and their soul.
When we've sat down with somebody and we've taken time to get to know them and put something into place that's going to really meet their needs, to see the look of relief or the posture change when they walk out of the office feeling confident and a little less worried of the years to come.
Welcome back to Mid-State Money Talk. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kevin and Joe Deitrich. They are partners of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. And if you're just tuning in, we're talking all about some top questions that viewers have asked about their retirement planning purposes. But we know that you've been really wanting the telephone number. We've heard over and over again, the phone number is not coming up enough. We're missing it when it comes up. So this is for you. 888-959-2743. Again, 888-959-2743. Well, moving into more questions from viewers. I know that you're so excited about these. I am. Let's get to the next one. Kevin, I'm going to guide it to you, please.
Sure.
How can I manage healthcare costs in retirement? Healthcare costs.
Healthcare costs, definitely a concern with every individual that we come in contact with. I want to do a little acronym like Joe did, like learn, estimate, and consider. We need to learn how Medicare works, all the aspects of it. And it could be overwhelming. When you hit about 64 years of age, you get inundated with mail.
That is
with
true.
Just stuff. And it can be overwhelming and confusing, but really it's not that overwhelming and confusing if we can just get with someone that can just explain it, easily to understand. So we need to learn how Medicare works, what it covers, what it considers supplemental insurance.
Okay.
We need to estimate healthcare costs, premiums, out-of-pocket expense, long-term care. What does that look like in retirement? And then, of course, consider health savings account, HSAs, to cover qualified expenses tax-free. Joe mentioned this last time we talked about the women in retirement. Is HSAs are so important. They're sort of overlooked a little bit sometimes. It's tax-free money going in, tax-free money coming out, and you can use it on all healthcare related expenses. So
okay.
And you're not
they're a great
required to
tool.
use it that year. You can, if you can cash flow those expenses this year, that just continues to roll and grow year over year into your retirement years.
Right.
That's amazing. Okay, very good guidance.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin.
Sure.
Joe, this next one is for you. I know this is a question that a lot of people have and one that we really need to spend time talking about. Am I investing too aggressively or too conservatively?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Big one.
Absolutely. And again, hope is not a strategy, right? We want to know exactly what it is, where we should be. And we see both ends of the spectrum. And the answer could be, yeah, you could be too aggressive or you could be too conservative. We've had a couple come in over the last month or two and, scary stock market news. We've taken our 401k 100% to cash, right? So, that could be, whoa, we maybe made a little overreaction here, maybe be too conservative. We need to make some of those adjustments because our accounts need to continue to grow. They need to continue to keep up with inflation. We need to see that growth so that we have the assets that we need in retirement. So yes, that could possibly be a situation. We probably more see the more overly aggressive, right? We set those retirement account investments many, many years ago, and we've never rebalanced those. And now we are into the red zone, which is a bit of a danger zone where we have a sequence of return risk. In simplest terms, we're in a time period where we still have significant retirement years left. And if we have a significant drop in our assets, then the withdrawal rates and growth rates and the time horizon are going to work against us, and we could more likely to run out of money, right? So this red zone, the 5 or 10 years before retirement and after retirement, is the most critical to get our risk tolerance correct.
Yes.
So this is an important topic to discuss. But how do we know we have it right? So again, we need to have that complete and customized retirement plan that we talked about earlier, that we're offering you folks at home to call in and meet with us and establish that. And then we can establish what risk is appropriate for those assets to be in so that we are in that sweet spot. Do we need to consider setting aside assets for later, for say guaranteed guaranteed lifetime income or long-term care, but also keeping up with the growth that we need to be successful?
Absolutely. And what I'm also thinking is obviously when we're approaching the retirement years, taking too much risk is scary to me when you think about it, because the one thing that you're not having a lot of is time to make up the losses. Because when you're younger, you can afford to take more risk because time is on your side. But when you're in retirement, you want to be, I would guess, a little more conservative. I mean, everybody's different. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. But I mean, overall, for peace of mind, wouldn't you recommend that it's allocated toward where someone is at their life at the moment?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That time horizon that you don't have the chance for it to recover is a huge impact, because that dip now, most people are more aggressive than they think. Or think, oh, well, I've, and then you look at their asset allocation, you go, ooh, we need to make some adjustments here. How would you feel? You want to retire next April. How would you feel right now if your accounts were 30% less? Oh, that's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
So we need to make
Absolutely.
some adjustments here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kevin, this next one I want to guide to you. This is a big one because a lot of people are talking about this at home. How do I reduce taxes in retirement? How do I reduce taxes in retirement?
You got 30 seconds. Go.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Go.
Do.
All right. So let me just point this out. So first of all, we nail it. We say this all the time. We need to be proactive,
Yes.
and we need to start looking at reducing taxes in retirement now. It doesn't matter your age, now, and being proactive and putting, setting up accounts that are like pre-tax or Roth or taxable, understanding how they work, making sure that we have money in those three different buckets that can benefit us going forward. We have to have give some flexibility to withdrawals.
Okay.
We have to understand RMDs, how they work, and how they can impact our retirement when we're at 73 to 75, and plan around them.
Okay.
Use tax-efficient strategies like Roth conversions or strategic withdrawals in your retirement plan. But all of this is the result of having proper planning. Make sense? So
Most definitely.
to reduce tax in retirement, we have to look at it right now.
And I think we need to clarify again, obviously, there's a difference between tax preparation and tax planning, because when we're talking about reducing taxes in retirement, we're talking about true strategic tax planning. So Kevin, do you mind sharing some light, please, on that subject, the difference between being proactive on planning and just preparing your taxes?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. We do workshops on a monthly basis, and they're all on our website, firstchoicefinancial.com. Go ahead and check that out. But we talk about Social Security, and we talk about taxes in retirement. We don't talk about just taxes. We talk about taxes in retirement. How do they affect it? And so tax planning is that taxes in retirement, doing proper planning. Just doing our taxes, you can go take that to H&R Block or TurboTax, or most people do their own taxes through the
That's true.
software. So that's totally separate from tax planning.
Okay.
So being proactive in the planning and making sure that we're maximizing all the deductions, credits, and brackets that we have to work with inside the tax law is very, very important as you approach retirement, even early on, especially early on.
Kevin, thank you so much. Joe, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, there's a number for you to call on your screen, 888-959-2743. 888-959-2743. If you're curious today where you stand currently for your retirement, there's a quiz that you can take, and I'd love to talk to you a little bit about that. It's the firstchoicequiz.com. Visit the website, answer a few questions, and find out exactly where you stand on your road to retirement. Do you have peace of mind? Do you feel comfortable? Do you have a written plan that shows you exactly what you need and when and how to get it? Well, if the answer is no, take that first step today. Find out more, 888-959-2743. Click the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That'll take you right to the firstchoicequiz.com, and you can take the quiz and find out if you're really ready for your retirement. Take action today. We'll be right back momentarily after this very short commercial break.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. the one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Are you ready to retire? I don't know is not an acceptable answer, because if you're not ready to retire with enough money to last until your last breath, when would you like to know? We created a quiz to give you a clear idea of retirement readiness, income, Social Security, taxes, and healthcare. Get a clear picture of how ready you are and where you need help. Get a second opinion. It's free. Go to firstchoicequiz.com for your retirement readiness score.
Welcome back to Mid-State Money Talk. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kevin Deitrich and Joe Deitrich. They are partners at First Choice Financial Services Incorporated, and we're talking about the top viewer questions that you have sent in about retiring with confidence and peace of mind. So, Joe, this next one I'm going to guide to you. It's about inflation. Question number 7 is, how will inflation affect my retirement income?
Nobody's concerned about inflation.
Nobody. What
It's fine.
inflation?
It's going to be fine.
It's transitory.
Let's just skip that
Yeah,
question.
you're the next one.
Okay, skip.
Inflation should be a concern. Right? If it's not, it should be a concern. And it's made the list. So everybody is concerned about inflation because it is silently eroding your purchasing power, right? So the money that you have now and what you can purchase it today won't purchase the same thing 5-10 years from now. If we are assuming 3.5% inflation, in 20, 22 years, 25 years, our expenses are going to double. Think about double,
Wow,
right? So you're
double.
spending $6,000 a month. You could be living where you're spending $12,000 a month. Have you planned for that? That's a major thing. So
Of
we need to be
course.
selecting accounts that are going to keep up with inflation or outpace inflation, hopefully. We need to plan for that increase. We need to essentially have an income plan that gives us solid guaranteed income, but also the flexibility to keep up with inflation. And a great place to do that, a great place to start is the quiz that we've been talking about this segment, and that's
Yes.
at firstchoicequiz.com. That'll give you a first step on the journey to figure out, what does my plan look like? What does my income plan look like? And how can I have confidence that inflation isn't going to put me in trouble 20, 30 years from now?
And I love how simple the quiz is. It's only 7 minutes,
Yep.
and you get a score to find out exactly where you are on your road to retirement. I think it's brilliant.
Absolutely.
7 minutes of your time, worth every second. Kevin, this next one I'm going to guide to
Okay.
you, please. Number 8, what happens if the market crashes near or during retirement? Scary. Near or during retirement?
That is scary. If you're in that retirement red zone, as Joe mentioned, it could be definitely a scary time. And easiest things to do is to use a bucket strategy system, having some short-term like cash available, liquid, and some low volatility assets. Delay withdrawals, reduce spending during down markets, and then avoid panic selling. Stay disciplined, stick to the plan. A lot of folks will just, the market dumps, they're just going to sell everything. Well, you're selling at a lower rate than you probably purchased it at, so then that's not good. You're losing some funds there.
Sure.
So we need to avoid the panic. Talk to us. Talk to the person that puts a plan together for you, and we can help you, navigate that devastating thing that you are experiencing through the market crashing, or especially near or during retirement. It can be devastating, and it could surprise some people. But with proper planning, we would be able to, hedge that by what Joe just mentioned about retirement. Having sources that will have inflation protection in it. And so even some of the market downturns can be affected, can help.
Yes.
The annuities and stuff like that can help with those downturns.
So you could turn the question of what happens if the stock market dumps at or during retirement to, how would it feel not to be concerned if the market drops at or during retirement? Wouldn't that be nice?
Absolutely.
And so setting out a plan ahead of time is going to be able to allow you to do that.
Fantastic. Thank you both. Joe, this next one is for you. This is number 9. What if I have to support adult children or aging parents Big one. What
Big one.
happens if I have
Big
to
one.
support either one or both?
Yeah, this is really an overlooked planning opportunity for a lot of folks. We've talked about inflation, we've talked about healthcare costs, long-term care costs. During our planning, we'll ask about what large purchases and projects are on the horizon. Putting a new roof on, buying a car, all of those come up routinely. Very rarely do we hear, well, I'm setting aside money to make sure that I can take care of my adult parents or aging
Right.
parents, or my kids need help. They're not quite there yet, that kind of thing. Those things may exist, but they don't actually come up on the list all that often when we're having that conversation. So we need to be pulling that out and saying, how do we plan for that? That should be on the list, just like if you were saying, you know what, I've got a college fund I got to fund, or I've got long-term care expenses that I want to fund with a particular solution. That needs to be a priority on the list. And sometimes we have competing priorities, and we have to establish what those are. But having a plan, having conversations that we talked about this in a prior episode, having conversations that are healthy boundaries as to what are the expectations of how we're going to care for our loved ones and family members, what resources are there to help us out. So it's something that we need to bring to the forefront and talk about, and so it can be planned for. If you can't identify it, you can't plan for it.
Most
right.
definitely. And Kevin, we've talked about this before. Obviously, we need to take care of ourselves first before taking care of others, because we can actually have that be a detriment to our retirement, correct?
Sure. Absolutely, that's right. I want to take a moment and just thank you, the audience, for joining us. As you mentioned, a lot of times our phones are ringing off the hook. We're really,
Yes.
really busy, especially with the workshops and with TV here. And we're so thankful for the commitment from the audience here in Central Pennsylvania. But I do encourage you, pick up the phone. We haven't heard from
Yes.
everybody yet. Pick up the phone, dial 888-959-2743. Go visit our website. Go to firstchoicequiz.com, take the quiz. Go to taxfirst.net, take that quiz. Just be proactive in your process for retirement. Come into one of our workshops. All the workshops are found on our website.
Nice.
But the first step, as Joe mentioned, as you mentioned, as I'm going to mention right now, is to pick up the phone. Dial 888-959-2743. Click the QR code if you feel like you want to do that, which is easier. But I just encourage you, take that next step. Take that first step. You won't regret it.
It's worth it. Kevin, thank you so much. Joe, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call, 888-959-2743, 888-959-2743. Jump on that website, take the quiz, firstchoicequiz.com. Take 7 minutes of your time. Find out exactly where you stand on your road to retirement. You will get a score. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We look forward to seeing you back 1 week from today on Mid-State Money Talk. Take care now. We'll see you soon.